Yo, what up? What up? Hope everybody's having a good one, Cruising on a Sunday afternoon. I'm just getting ready, doing my thing, letting some people get funnel on in. My whole 5 people that roll up in here. Subject. What's the subject? Sunday afternoons. That's the subject. Now. Hope everybody's having a good one, Doing a quick little Sunday live. I've been doing daily lives, so if you guys don't hit that notification, check, you know what I mean? You can check them out now and then, but I do them every day. Every single day. Not a day passes I don't do them, so. I got a good subject. People are going to be like, how the hell do you know? But we're going to start with what makes a successful YouTube channel. Because I like, being what do you call it, a content creator and a person that uses, common sense. I like to use my mind, do equations. I'm the type of person, if I'm gonna slang, I always felt like YouTube is like slang and dope. You know what I mean? Your content is your dope, and the better it is, the more subscribers you get. But this is one of the things I've noticed when like I said, I fish around. I look at different genres, see which genres got more. Seems like it gets more play, more subscribers. More views and stuff like that. And one of the things, the constant, if you will, the common denominator, if you will. Yeah, you got your luckies, I call them, like they get some fire content and they blow up pretty quick. But for the most part, almost always is one thing. What do you guys think that is? Time. The older the channel, no, not always, of course. There's exceptions to everything, but for the most part, people want their channels to blow up. You know what I'm saying? They want that get rich quick, if you will. That, hey, I want big bag. You know what I mean? I want it overnight. Big Hurt, people like Wes Watson, some of the biggest guys in the game. It's because they have the oldest channels. They were one of the first prison channels. You know what I mean? Fresh Out with Big Hurt. What do they call that? The one with Pino and all those guys. 1090 Jake. All those guys, they just sat around. They sat it out. While everybody else some people go to jail. Some people are like Savage. They get killed. Some people get sick. All types of shit happens. Some people get sick of YouTube. You know what I mean? So really, if you want to be that constant, like go to almost any channel that's had video out for 5 years, 10 years. Bet you that video's got 40,000 views. Bet you their videos got 60,000 views. It don't take a rocket scientist. It's simple mathematics. The longer something's been out, the more availability it has to it. The more people that could have watched it, You know what I'm saying? The more people that stroll by it and click on it, you know what I mean? More time in the game, more foundation. And that's just how it is. Now, like I said, there's exceptions. Yeah, there's channels that have been around 2-3 months, blow up, get 20-30,000 subscribers. And there's also channels that have been around for 8-10 years and only got 400 subscribers. There are exceptions. But I'm saying for the most part, you want to look at a channel that's very successful, that's up there in the 1.2, 2.2 million subscribers. They're going to have been around 10 years plus, guaranteed. You want to look at one that's mediocre, that's 150,000, 200,000. They've been around anywhere from 7 to 10 years. You want to look at ones that are anything below 50,000. They've been around less than 5 years. It's just the going rate. You know what I mean? Like take my channel is about average, for instance. About 3,000, 6 months old. You know what I mean? You take somebody like EBK, he's got about 7,000, 8,000. He's almost twice as old. It's a time thing. You know what I mean? It's not really, I thought it was all them because there's people with fire ass content and almost nobody watches their shit. I'm going to be honest. There's some people I'll grab their music videos from or look at their content and I trip. One of them being Burke Records. It's a whole record platform. And they put out fire content. Shout out to G Reach. They got like 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. And he does music video. It's a whole music label. You know what I mean? And they've been putting out, and they've been around for about a year. They didn't pick up no subscribers. It just happens. I trip out. I mean, I'm sure and a lot of the big platforms or big, what do you call it? You want to call them creators? Will tell you a lot of it's luck of the draw. I'll put out a video that seems to be trending and everyone seems to be talking about it. Won't get hardly no views. I'll put something else out that doesn't. It really has nothing to do with what you think. That's what I'm saying is going to be your best views and not a lot of the time, not all the time, but sometimes the video you think is going to do the best when you make it and be like, oh, this could be my hot one. This one's doesn't do good at all. And then sometime in the video that you're like, oh, I don't care about that. Means nothing to me. That ain't gonna get no views. Will be your hottest one. Will be your what do you call that? Your viral video. For real. I absolutely shit you not. Like me, my specialties are gangland, right? I do vadios, Sanho, Badias, all these vadios out of Albuquerque, right? But guess what are my best videos? Out of all, I got like 30 ganglands, and all of them, they got like 25,000 views, 30, 50, 80,000. But what are the best 3 of all of them? Biker videos. Yup. Absolutely shit you not. Out of all the gang shit I do, obviously you can see I kind of look cholo. The best sellers, bikers. Yep. My Mongol video is at like 70, 80,000. My Bandidos video is at 90 something thousand. And so forth. And so forth. What's up, Jose? Just busting out a quick Sunday live. Cruising on a Sunday afternoon. Putting it down real quick, Exposure. No, basically what I was talking about, though, the subject, if you will, is I was talking about what makes what honestly, people will say, oh, it's drama, it's this, but what honestly makes a good channel. Well, a channel, you look at them channels where he's got 1.4 million subscribers, or you look at a channel 500,000 subscribers, and what is the common rate? I was saying usually makes that? 2 things. 1, time. But it just doesn't matter how old your channel is. You can just have a channel that's 3 years old and it's going to be successful. Time with consistency. The longer your channel's out and you're dropping consistent, content throughout that time, you're going to be successful. While other people are falling off, getting their channels demonetized, going to jail, life is happening. If you can just hold on to your channel, continue to drop, you're going to get slowly but surely, you're going to build more of a crowd and more of a crowd. And you look at your channel after 6 years, let's say. Mine's 6 months old, 7 months old. Say you look at it after 6 years. It's going to have, you know what I mean? You're going to have some growth. You're going to have some subs. Throughout those years, people hit that sub button more and more and more and more. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. The longer the channel's around, the more people hit the sub button. The fact. Like I said, people want to look at guys like Wes Watson and why. All right, here's a good question. I'll tell you right now. What's the difference between Gunner's Collective, and Wes Watson? That's a good question. Oh, wait. Nah. The difference between those two is time. Wes Watson has had fucking 4 or 5 more years to feed his bullshit to people than Gunner. Therefore, having that many more years to build subscribers and having that much, basically, it's like a head start. I mean, it doesn't take much, you know. Let's say we all start trying to run the mile, right? Well, the guys that start, they get a head start. They get a fucking 20-minute head start. Not all of them. They maybe even finish last, but they have an advantage. They should be ahead. If everybody's moving at the same pace, and you guys start 20 minutes ahead of me, and then I start, and then the guys behind me start 30 minutes later, everybody should fall in sync like that. You understand? Like the first person that started first should have to be the finish off first, then me, then the person behind me. You understand? It's kind of the same with the YouTube shit. Especially some of these guys like Milk and all them that started getting their foot in the door and doing, you know, building a base a long time ago. They're the ones that got solid followers. See, the problem is a lot of these guys, they think they can start their channel and they're going and they get mad and they get like a jealousy in them, you know, hence a lot of the hate for Gunner and they don't understand why they're doing videos and why they're you know, doing drama, doing the whole nine, but they're getting, you know, slow growth. So they start yelling at this fool and they start trying to expose and, oh, he's fake, and he just put in the time. That's all. It doesn't have nothing to do with who's real, who's fake, who got the more stories, war stories, you know what I mean? Who's more legit, you know, who's a real hitter, who's not. That means nothing on the number of growth and subscribers. It's not, oh, he's a fake and he's not. Like I said, look at Wes Watson. Ain't never been off a level 2 yard. The biggest yip yapper of all time, has a higher following, subscriber following than anybody in the genre. Why? Obviously, it's not because of who's the more legit. It's about who, like I said, who's got the time, who's been on longer. They got the bigger following. It's really, you know what I mean? Like I said, exceptions to everything, but that's for the most part what I see. That's what is the common denominator. Basically, you got to just keep dropping videos. That's what I'm doing. You know, drop at least couple every few days, and just keep your head out of like getting your channel deleted, out of you know, make sure you keep your head on straight in real life, keep your health up, keep your make sure you stay busy at work. See, some of these fools quit work for YouTube. Big time problem. Let me tell you why. Because even though they think that they're at work for money, and I understand it, that's why I go to work too, money, but you got to understand the way the human body works. See, the human body works, it needs to be doing something, creating. We're hunter-gatherers. Since the beginning of time, we've always created, either been farmers or been ranchers or went and hunted our food or went to the moon or to the bottom of the oceans with submarines, you know. Humans are the type you need to be constantly, and not just mentally, but physically creating, doing. And so these fools, they quit their jobs. Dubs is a good example. And then they're on the computer half the time. They disengage with reality, as in disengage with social everyday shit that they're doing, working out their bodies, talking with people. They end up, you know, spending most of their life on YouTube, and then you get an imbalance. You know what I'm saying? An imbalance is in, you can't just do videos all day on YouTube and expect to be happy. Expect you don't know why you're sitting there. I'm unhappy. I don't get it. Well, that's because you quit. You're productive. What you're doing. And when I say productive, I do not mean money. I don't mean income wise. I say productive as in what you're doing every day, you know, to get your workout, to sit on your couch and say, man, I made something happen today. You know, I fixed 10 motors, or I loaded 100 batteries, or whatever it is that your job is. I unloaded 10 mats and containers. You know what I mean? That's what they call a feeling of accomplishment. What have you accomplished when you sit down and you made 3 videos, especially if they're mitotero videos, talking shit about other men? And then you wonder why you got guys falling off on YouTube, you know, looking all unhappy and shit. It's because they're making money. Take somebody like Milk 74, like Wes Watson, like Gunner. Yeah, they're making money, but they have no happiness in life because they've lost structure. They've lost that accomplishment. Like, hey, man, I dug a ditch today. You know what I mean? I made something I accomplished. We built pyramids. You know what I mean? Took over countries. You think that the human mind and body is going to be content and happy with sitting on a fucking in front of a computer or in front of a what do you call that, a camera? No, your wallet might be happy. Yeah, YouTube might pay you well, but the human body isn't going to feel accomplished. Hell, I'll feel, like I said, you can pay me $500 today, or I can dig you a ditch from here to the high school, and guess what? Guess what? I'm going to feel more accomplished. Just because you gave me a bunch of free money, where's the accomplishment there? The accomplishment is in that ditch I dug. What I can prove to myself and to everyone else what my worth, that I can carry my weight. See, people forget that nowadays. They forget about the feeling of accomplishment. Oh, what have I done? What did I finish today? The whole mindset, and this is the problem, especially with YouTubers, is how much can I make? The bag. Hey, how about how much did you exert? How much weight did you lift today? You know, not how much did I make? You know, that's where this YouTube shit fucks everybody up, because you can't be happy making videos. I don't care how much you enjoy making content. The human body is not going to reward you for that. I mean, we have literal chemicals in our brains, literal, called dopamines. What do they call endorphins, that go off, sensors, rewarding sensors when you physically do something. Those endorphins, they don't go off when somebody hands you $500. Yeah, it feels good and all, but those aren't physical chemical endorphins. These are endorphins that get flowing and pumping when you run around the block. If I were to drop right now and do 60 push-ups, those are the type of endorphins I'm talking about. Those are one, they keep the body healthy, but two, they give you that feeling of accomplishment. Like, I just did 50 push-ups. All right, not, hey man, I created 3 videos. What is that? What, you know what I mean? That is minuscule. That's not the type of accomplishment that that we as humans need. You need to be physical. That's a mental accomplishment. You have to, like I said again, balance it out. Yeah, we don't want to be broke. Everybody wants to get their paycheck. You got to get your bag, right? It is, as we all know, financial security is part of your happiness. But at the same time, you have to, like I said again, everything in life is a seesaw. You got to get it all balanced, right? Just like with your work and your play schedule, your party schedule, you got to balance everything out. You know what I mean? Plain and simple. Nothing. It doesn't work if you're just a YouTuber, or you're just working but you never spend your money. Work hard, play hard, love your family, hate your enemies, and balance out your life. You know. But anybody got any subjects? If you guys ever watch my lives, you know how I do them. I just kind of spill into each subject. I bounce into one thing, and then if it reminds me of something else, I'll jump into that. You know what I'm saying? But I've been doing my daily lives, doing my thing, like a hot chicken wing hanging from a string in the South. You know, I could bump jams, whatever. You guys let me know. I'm gonna take a rip real quick. Hey, you off this weekend? Greetings, homie. Just going over a few things. One of the finally caught me on one, huh? Are you working today or what? Oh no, one of the subjects I was going over was for a while I started with what makes a successful YouTube channel. Because you see there's thousands of channels and there's a lot of genres. Some people get popular, some people stay stagnant at 300 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? What up, Smoke? And so I was just saying the one thing that I'm the type to do my investigating. I'm not gonna just sit around and go, oh, if it works, it works. Some people are like that, but I'm more like, I'm gonna check it out, do a little investigating here and find out. Like, go look at a successful channel and see how long it's been around, how many videos he releases a week. And when I say he or she or whatever, I just mean, and that's another part of it, not just the same genre. Don't look just at Wes Watson, see how he does, or Soft White Underbelly, but look into the gaming of it, like the dudes on doing good, bro. I was just kicking it, cruising on a Sunday. the topic was just what makes a successful channel is what I was starting with. How the hell would I know? No, but I'm just going off of, bounce your ideas off of me, and also just bouncing what I've from my investigations. I was just saying, like anything in life, you got your exceptions. Your channels that are new, a couple months old, and do badass. Renegade Media was one of those. Renegade hit like 20,000, I think, in his second month. It was wild. But for the most part, you see a gradual growth on a lot of channels, and it's pretty similar. You know what I'm saying? I try, bro, try to stay a little out the drama, but that's another part of it, of this whole success story I was about to say. You gotta you gotta give them a little action, like throw the pack a little blood. If not, they'll go to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they love the original shit, like reactions and all that. But at the same time, you now and then you gotta, what do you call it? The sacrificial lamb. Every now and then you gotta throw them some blood, or they'll go elsewhere for their Jerry Springer. Shit, everybody does it. EB does it. Fucking Gunner does it. There's not a channel one I noticed that doesn't take a sacrificial lamb now and then and start some kind of pleito, start some kind of beef. Like it's a must. You got to do it. You know what I mean? Everybody indulges, or else you become a fucking holy roller of the YouTube yada, if you will, and nobody will. And you become a fucking, what do you call it? A leper. But then again, you don't want to do too much. That's another thing I noticed, because then you become a troll. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You become a troll, like a straight troll. Like, and then you'll have a good lane. You'll have your lane. Like, shout out to Triple OG, everybody. You know what I mean? Everybody loves Afro. You will have a lane, but you lose your lane. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if I right now just only start doing videos about people will forget that I do videos about the Southwest, that I do ganglands, and they'll be like, hey, another video. Like, what? Stay on his neck. Who's next? You know what I mean? You start to change lanes, if you will, and that's cool for people like TOG, or people that like that lane, that love that lane. You know what I mean? That's their thing. Like, oh, I'm Northern Exposure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm exposing fools, and that's what I do. If that's your get down, that's what I mean. Then that's your get down. But then you become, like I said, part of a category. But anyway, though, back to the original point, though. So what makes a YouTube channel successful? It's really hard to say, to be honest. There's really no written law. Like, oh, you do this, this, and that, and you're guaranteed a success channel. There's some channels, I'll be honest with you, that are like 2 years old, and they got fire. They're hidden gems. You know what I mean? I mean, they use professional cameras. They do skits, and they're like, wow, they're really out there. And they're just like, I never got their lift off, I guess you could say. I come across some hidden gems, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that these guys aren't, 150,000 subs. And then the vice versa too. You come across somebody and you're thinking to yourself, like, what in the absolute hell? You look at their sub count, 150,000 subscribers. And there's some dorks in a dorky chair, you know what I mean? Like, with no experience, a little, look like a 17-year-old kid over there, like, doing reactions or something, with glasses. And he's like, 150,000 subs, it's like, damn. And you know what I realized about it? They just had their foot in the door. I bet you look at that channel, I bet you it's 9 years old. I bet you it's 12 years old. You know what I mean? Time. It's just like a wildfire, bro. You know about fires. You give them a little bit of time, and then they catch up. Especially if you don't, like you said, tend to them. You don't trim the brush, and you don't do that, then everything catches. Channels are like that. But also too, it's not about time. That's another thing I was just trying to say. It's also consistency. It doesn't matter if your channel's 4 years old. If you were in the pinta not dropping nothing, it's gonna go stagnant. It's gonna go dead. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like water. It goes moldy and stagnant. Just like people. I mean, your channel's a lot like you. Let's talk about people. Everybody knows that human beings are like 80% water, right? Your muscles are 75 or 80%, maybe 85. I'm not sure. It's between 70. I don't like to give misinformation, so I'm gonna say between 70 and 85% water. Your body is. And one of the people told me one of the things that, matter of fact, I think it was that clown Marvelous talking about it, but it made sense. I'm gonna keep it real. Oh, what up, homie X? I'm just going over, what makes a successful channel and whatever, just bouncing ideas. And he was saying it made a lot of sense because, the body is water. We all know that, right? What happens to any water in, let's just say, a puddle of water on the side of the road, even a cup? You pour yourself a nice cup of cool. Yeah, exactly. Smoking out the mold you like. You know what I mean? The kind of the moss. We're talking. Hey, not the fungi. We're talking about a mossy mold. But for real though, think about it. Like imagine you're water, right? What is the best kind of water? Flowing in a stream, cold, cleaning, constantly. Yup, turns to crap. Exactly, Mr. X. You're right, bro. See, like a cup of water, flies land in it, dust. It becomes stagnant, moldy. It even loses its pH level. You know what I mean? You got to boil that shit and get the flies out after a while, right? Same with the body. But you work out, and that's one of the things. I don't know how many of you guys been on here. If you just jumped on Smoke, that I was talking about, like the body. That's what's wrong with a lot of these YouTubers is that they quit their jobs, their everyday life, like their day jobs, because they're making the bag, right? And they think they feel accomplished because they're like, I got the bag, I'm making 10 grand a month. But see, your body doesn't reward your mind. Will say, orale, it's a peace of mind to have money. But the reality of it is the endorphins don't start pumping. You know what I mean? The heart, the mind. It doesn't say, all right, you're kicking ass unless you're actually kicking ass. If you know what I'm saying. Like I can drop this video right now, get 150,000 views, and my fucking bag will be great. But my body isn't gonna say, hey, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're doing good. You're gonna have a sense of unease. If I don't know if people understand what I'm saying. Basically, for lack of better words, it's almost that old saying that money doesn't bring happiness. It's kind of like equates to that. Like you can have a sick bag and have a good channel, but are you balancing it out? You know what I mean? Or before your videos, in your daytime, do you work on the car and still throw the ball with your grandkid or your kid or whatever, and then make your successful videos? Or are you a computer stuck on the computer, and want to blow your brains out? I can't help but think I seen a video from the Vato Dubs talking about how he was getting away from YouTube. He didn't want nothing to do with it. He was trying to find a better route. I can't help but think that happened because he made it full time. He stopped doing look how he used to smile and be seem more serious, more progressive when he would work his I used to watch Dubs, until we got into our little beef, but until he surprised me with his with the low class, with the low blows. You expect a certain amount of class from Vato, especially Pintos. I'm gonna keep it real, because in the Pinta, Vatos can't just act any way. You can't just say anything. A lot of Vatos are taught high levels of respect to the point of teaching others how to be respectful, because how to carry yourself. I was taught myself. I ain't gonna lie, from older Vatos how to act, older Pintos. Shout out to the homie Cartoon. Shout out to the homie Enemy. Shout out to all kinds of homies, right? I was taught about Sneaks. I was taught by all kinds Stoner. Shout out to homie Stoner. I was shout out by all the homies that had done like major time how to act. Like you don't ever reach for somebody's food above them. You know what I mean? You don't ever look at somebody, for more than a passing glance. I was taught by the OGs that were done Pinta, like hardcore Pinta time, how to carry myself correctly. So to see the Vato like Dubs acting far from what I would say classy, or holding himself to a certain level. I'm just talking about my own beef I had with him. That's when I looked at him differently. But anyway, though, you could see the change when he was like, oh, I quit being a mechanic or whatever he did, machinist, and now I'm just a YouTuber. Because that shit it's all mine. You're not really getting a workout, and getting out there and accomplishing. Like I was saying, we as humans, we fucking went to the bottom of the sea, to the highest skies. We built planes and submarines and found lands. You know what I mean? To go from that to sitting on a computer. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm doing it right here myself. And I think it's hella cool actually being able having at your fingertips, being able to share communicate, and not only communicate with individuals like people, but drop klecha. Like somebody can tell me what the get down is right now in Iowa. How else would I ever know what they're doing in Iowa? I can right now, boom, 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 jump on my YouTube, see what they're doing in Iowa. I would never been able to do that, many years ago if it wasn't for this computer thing. But people get it twisted with real life. I've heard people say I wake up early in the morning and work hard making videos. Man, waking up early in the morning is doing some physical ass hardcore work. Sitting in front of a video, that's mentally straining. Yeah, that ain't work. That ain't nothing you can sit after 12 hours of doing and say, damn, I'm beat. And I feel like I done and I'm a man. You know what I mean? I could build the damn pyramid. I feel like I done built the damn Giza pyramids today. You know, that's the type of shit that makes us as men, shout out to all my women out there too, but as men accomplished. Not whole, hey, look at my bank account. You think that did anything for anybody back in the day? It was about, like I said, hunter gatherers, farmers. Those are the things that give your body accomplishment. This is a good point too. Drugs. Let's get into this one here. This is why drugs are so confusing to the human body. You know what I'm saying? Because they give you that signal of, all right, let's say, like, for instance, this is a good example. Let's say you eat a meal, right? You sit down, you have you a steak dinner, right? Steak plate with some vegetables on it, nice cup of ice water, right? It's gonna feel good, right? That's why people get overweight, because it's gonna give you a signal of survival. You know, it's gonna send signals to your brain like, hey, this is a good thing, this is a plus, this is nutrition, this is protein, this is something that's good for me, you know. And hey, what's up, Johnny? Shout out to Española 70 Chimayo 76ers. But yeah, so that's why it's so confusing with drugs. People don't understand that your body is actually telling you, yeah, this is good for me. This is nutrition. You're getting the signal of positivity, of go for it. You know, your body's all confused. Hey, Savlokes, there's some good ones. We got some solid ones in here tonight. No, I was just talking about how the human body, how when we work, right, and we make a bag, we make money, right? But that's not necessarily gonna give you endorphins. You know, you can sit there all day in a desk and not move. You might make 100,000 that day, and hell, you're gonna be mentally the peace of mind all day. That's a good thing. But physically, you haven't accomplished anything. No endorphins pumped. You're gonna get more reward. I'm talking like reward, physical reward in your brain from digging a ditch 100 yards than you will somebody coming up and paying you, you know, 10 grand. Because again, feeling of accomplishment. Yeah, somebody handed me some paper. Wow, yippee, my bag's bigger. But I got off my ass, stood on my own on all 10 toes, and dug a ditch. You know what I mean? Now that's a man. Somebody in a damn wheelchair. I'm talking about you know what I mean, a damn paraplegic can make 10 grand. But let's see him dig. I no diss to anyone out there whatsoever. You know, I'm not putting nobody down. It's just how I talk. But let's see him you know, but let's see him dig a ditch. Again, no diss to anyone, everybody. I got family, everybody gets it down. But I'm just saying, you see the difference there? Any old Joe, even if somebody can't lift a finger, can collect a bag. But let's see that the same people dig ditches. You know what I'm saying? Build houses, really accomplish. You know, that's the difference. And like I was saying, and that's kind of the confusion that comes with drugs. Because your body gets that, your mind, that your endorphins, your chemical response gets that same feeling, that same reward center. It hits the reward center. You understand? Like, hey, this is good. This is a plus. I need more. When in reality, you don't understand that you're actually dying. You know what I mean? Because instead of eating, right, you're taking in a chemical meal, therefore suppressing your appetite. Your mind is saying, I'm full as can be, and I got the most energy I need. But what's the reality of it? You ain't ate shit. You ain't got no protein in you. You ain't got no real energy. Just a fucking pipe dream. You know what I mean? So that's the whole deal with that. You know? YouTube is damn near like a drug. Makes motherfuckers think they're doing good, feeling good, happy, mentally, because they got the views, they got the subs, the bag's coming. But really, you know, they got to get off that chair. I'm not saying, hey, to go work a full-time job if you're getting a good bag. You're getting a good bag, all right. But at least hit the gym. You know, work on your car, have a hobby. You know, so reward the center other than the bag. You know, reward the reward center. Ding, ding. You know, give the body a chance to hit that. Go fishing. I love to fish. Fishing is shit. People don't understand, too, that if you do have any type of wilderness, which is everywhere. I don't give a damn if you live in Phoenix. I don't give a damn if you live in LA. You got Hollister Hills right there. You can go out into the hills. You can go out in the hills in Denver. I know they got, and if you guys are into nature, there's no more, in my opinion, more rewarding type of activity than either fishing, hunting, gathering, stuff like that. You know, camping. You know why? Let me explain that one. Because it takes us back to our roots as a people. And I say our roots as in all of us came from hunter gatherers. You know what I mean? Ain't a single person here. Hey, what's up, Sea Dog? Shout out Sea Dog and Cooper Show. All right, my man. He's a solid one. And then anybody watching this, because I know not very many people tap into my lives like at the time, but I usually get a few hundred people afterwards. You guys make sure you check out Cricket Chronicles. He's got the down low on questionairre. Make sure you check out Sav Lokes Hood Tales. He's got the down low on Denver. We got Sea Dog. You know, he's got some good stories about the anime. You know, he used to be part of all that. So we actually got some Smokey the Local Bear. You make sure you check him out. He's got the down low on what's going on the whole on the life change from being a cholo to firefighter. You know, I mean, right here we got all as far as I'm concerned, we got an all-star lineup right here. No, Runner ain't put nobody in check, homie. That's how he got his name, Runner. But see, that's a good question, Mr. Magoo. I got a homie from 18 named Magoo. Shout out Mr. Magoo from 18th Street, Tiny Wino Locos. It depends what you call putting in check. See, I can make 100 videos about somebody and run my mouth. I don't consider that I checked anybody. So if you're asking if he made a video about me, if he does what he does best, run his mouth about me, yeah, he did. Did he actually do anything whatsoever in real life? Get at me, holler at me, try to get my address, call me out, do anything whatsoever other than keyboard warrior? No, he did not. So you can take that however you want. Pee-pee here. The fuck is pee-pee? No, we don't say that, homie. I don't even know what you're saying. Pee-pee here. No, we say shit like a la verga. You know what? This is a good time. Let me run you guys down on some New Mexico slang here. We say too sick or sick, all sick. Those are we say a la verga, anything with Allah. We just say Allah, or we say a la máquinas, a la mockingbirds, a la motors. No, Pee-pee Hearted. I think I have heard of Pee-pee Hearted before. Allah, see Johnny? Allah, Allah ergas. Yeah, man. Nah. I don't consider this YouTube shit checking nobody. That's why I crack up when other guys make, like, you know, there's been a lot of guys make videos about Runner. And they're over there, I just checked him. I got my foot on his neck. Man, you got to turn off your computer and go sock him in his chin to check somebody. You want to know somebody that got checked? I'll tell you who got checked. Savage. Not this homie right here, but Savage Studios, Rowdy. Now that's getting checked. You know what I'm saying? C-Mac in that alley, that DP that he got, that's a check. Fucking Wato's making videos back and forth. That's just keyboard warriors at their finest. Or as we call them in county, cell warriors. You know how when you guys walk by the cell and there's that vato over there, hey homie, what? And then the doors crack and he's all, where's my tray? That sounds like what these vatos are. But hey, no harm, no foul. You know, I'll be honest with that fool. He didn't make, he made a video about me. I didn't make one about him, but it didn't bother me. See, that's the key here. Anyone's gonna make a video about you, Triple OG. Fools will do their best to press your button, pull your chain, yank your chain, if you will, and not the kind you want. Hey, they'll yank your chain, but they won't choke your chicken. And the whole point about it, the whole thing with this YouTube is with the YouTube thing that I'm learning is can you follow the serenity prayer? A lot of these vatos say that it doesn't bother me. You know, that whole rent-free, what do they call that saying? Rent-free, living rent-free in his head, having the space rent-free in his head. That's true saying. Some of these people get so bothered that they pretend like it don't bother them and they're all cool, but it really does. And they make videos and they go all nuts. You know, it's like, shit. You gonna run his mouth? Yeah, he did. I don't care though. It doesn't bother me. A lot of people did. When you know what the funny part? That's the funny thing. That fool had so many backers. Yeah, Tony T, you're right. He got shot dead at his job, and that's a funny thing too. I wanna point something out to people right now because a lot of people as you guys all know, in this genre, people are big on the Addy dropping his address. He dropped my address. I'm pissed. You endanger my family with this address. But let's be real, people. I just want to throw it out there, number wise, right? How many people have really though have gotten hit at their pad? Everybody's address has been dropped, from Flacco to Gunner to Rojo to you name it, APA. Everybody so far has had their address dropped. How many of them have had their door kicked in and hit? None. Nope. Not a single person since this YouTube started. All the dropouts, all the degenerates, all the rats, all the wires worn, all the addresses dropped, all the lives in the past 2 years. Nobody's got their shit kicked in and blown away yet. Ha! How's that? But yet everybody's still so worried. Don't drop my address. I gotta move. What am I gonna do? Yep, not a single one. Nobody got hit. Nobody. So, you know how that goes. That's why I'm laughing because, yeah, they do. Exactly, Turbo. Shout out Turbo and Tony T. I try to say what's up to everybody that enters, but these my lives are kind of small, so it's like a revolving door. I don't ever know who's dipping in and dipping out. And a lot of people do, too. It's funny because I always see like barely like 8, 9, or 10 people. Yeah, I know. And so did, no, like I said, don't like to be too much of a mitotero, but you know, I do keep up on the genre and shit because, well, a lot less now. I used to be into it. Now that I get to know him a little more, I kind of stray away. But another one that I thought was more solid that I didn't really know the history on was Boxer. I had a lot of respect for Boxer because he kind of usually tries to steer clear of the drama, you know, of the mitotero shit. But then come to find out, I was watching a video about him, and he's like a full-on but not even, bro, because Dubs is in Cali. And then, but, you know, no, I understand, but you got to remember, though, there's hitters or people that want to get at him everywhere, you think, you know, because even the Cali gangs get sent out of state, you know what I mean, when they're in the prison system. So, I don't know. Because there's a lot of channels that aren't necessarily, I mean, Whack, American Cholo, a lot of them are still danking and drinking. Most of them actually are in Cali other than Gunner and APA. Oh, Junior Mafia, hit me with that blang, 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 blang. Yeah, but I ain't making videos, though. That's the thing. This is a live. My videos are reactions and shit. And even those reactions, the only person I've done, I did yesterday talk shit about, that I do videos on the real is Milk. I made a video about Milk 74 because, you know, he was sneak dissing on us, talking about, oh, I can talk to, I'm cool with the Ross. I'll watch uno, dos, tres. Matter of fact, that one I came at him. I made a video. I actually made, you guys check it out, a video about somebody. But this right here is a live, bro, which means a video is about something. Like right now, if I make a video about a reaction about, it's gonna be about something. It's gonna have a purpose. As you can see in the name of this is just Sunday Cruising. I mean, you can watch the whole live. I talked about drugs in this. I talked about what makes a channel successful. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here talking about them. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's part of the subject. But I'm not even talking about channels. Actually, I'm talking about people getting hit, address dropping. Not sitting here going, hey, fucking, you know what I mean? Fuck that fucking runner, and he lives in fucking one piece of, you know what I mean? That's talking about somebody. I'm talking about an actual subject here. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about any channel in specific, period. I'm talking about the fact that guys get their addies dropped and get all worried like it's going to matter. first off, you should be able to fucking, defend your household, even if somebody's coming at it, period. So, and then second of all, though, are the blacks united in New Mexico? No, they're not. They're not. The blacks, I mean, not to be an asshole, but they're, as usual, just like anywhere else, their number one enemy is themselves. Yes, I have fast money. Dipped a nug. When I was young too. I was about 14 years old. The homie had a bud, a big old chronic bud. Dipped one time in a jar of water. So yes, I have put it in a little, back in the day, how everybody had those little metal pieces. You know what I mean? Just no carb or nothing, just a little metal bowl. We smoked out of that. It was like eighth or ninth grade, I want to say, somewhere like right beginning of high school. This is for fast money. And it was a trip too. Everything turned just like in that movie. What do they call that? Training Day, where it kind of gets like a green tint and everything gets all colorful and kind of turns. I was all walking like this. My balance was all off. It fucks with your balance, but only once. Tried it once. Never before, never after. It was a one-time thing. But yeah, just to let you know, yeah, I bring them up. But like I said, I wasn't even talking about any channels. I was talking about dropping addresses. How people panic about their addresses getting dropped. Even some people move. And it's like, but nobody's even got hit at their house. You know what I mean? I could understand if it's like, damn, the last 3 IDs got dropped, fools got whacked off. But it's like, oh, an address gets dropped, nothing happens. Another address gets dropped, nothing happens. Like, who the fuck's worried about it? Nobody's hitting people. Nobody's knocking fools off. And the chick, so back to what I was saying though. What's his name? Boxer. I like his channel. I think he's got a good channel because he kind of steers clear of drama. But I was watching a video about him that I didn't really know his background. You know what I mean? Before that, I guess he was testified. NF, have you ever chilled in Salinas? I'm from Salinas, Holmes. I was born there. That's where my family's from. My father's side. I shouldn't say my whole family. My mom, my jefita's not from there. That's where the Nuevo comes in. But my father's side, my grandfather, we're from Salas, bro. East side, Center Street. You can look it up right off of Market, right off East Market Street. Grew up there. Used to walk down to the church. Got the Michelin Tire Center right there and all that. My grandma actually lived in. She used to live on the east side too by Del Monte, but then she, once they retired, she decided to get out of the east side and move to North Salinas, and she lived right there behind Madonna Church, Rosarita Drive. You know what I mean? So yeah, they were East Market were some hardcore Norteños back in the day when they were like fruit stand and shit when they first started, but then they got pushed. I mean, they kind of became known as like the second hand Norte. I mean, they're the bigger, but Casitas hit harder than them. And then see, you got to understand something about Salinas East Market Street. It's one of the oldest sets in each side of Salinas, and because it's older, it's gone through a lot. A lot of vatos got locked up for life. A lot of vatos died, and so some of the newer sets from East Salinas, like Sapsters, you know what I mean, Salinas, Costa Plaza, Casitas, the young bucks, if you will, came through with the power, and they I don't want to say like pushed them out or anything, because Fremont and SEM are still around, but they take less hits, and then and the youngsters had something more to prove. But yeah, I know some of the I don't stay out of it, of course. I don't do no videos about it, and I never claim to bang out of there or anything, but I know some of the politics. Like I said, my jefito's from there, so he grew up in that shit, and I still remember walking around, and I remember the town. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Salinas, people give it a bad rep. I mean, they say because it's like the politics, it's all Norte pretty much. There's some Sureños and shit, but it's a Norte stronghold. And I know people right now are going, fuck your fool. I hope nobody takes this as talking shit, but it's just common sense, right? Smaller cities, Salinas being one. Yes, it's smaller. It's like 200,000 less. It doesn't even have 500,000 people like Fresno. It's considered a small town, in my opinion. Small, especially me moving to a place like Albuquerque with 1,000,000+ people, you know, twice, 3 times the size of Fresno. Being born in Salos, I remember it as a small, foggy, you know, coastal town, and that's what it is. It's tiny. You know what I mean? Salinas is small. One Walmart, one mall, the Northridge Mall. So yeah, they might get like well, that's what I mean. I know about real gang banging from Albuquerque, where they got some fucking gangs that got, you know, 2,000-3,000 gang members. You know what I mean? Like Padillas. There's what they call mega gangs, like LA, like Fresno. Salinas is a small town, bro. 100 members. Like SEM's probably got 200 members. Casitas maybe 30-40 members. You know, and those are like active members. You know what I mean? It's a small town. Like for instance, Albuquerque, they get 2-3 murders a day. Look up the headlines. Somebody just got killed. But then you go to Salos, they might get a murder once every month, twice a month, which ain't shit. That's safe. You know, that's considered safe. And it's simply because the numbers are small. Less people, less guns, less gang members, less fools getting blasted. Yeah, it's not in Houston. I mean, you might be right. I know for a fact. I used to live in Dallas and H-Town. And I dare you to wear a red shirt walking down Second Ward, Crip Cartel. That's all Crips, all Mexican Crips. They're weird like that in Texas, though. They do. They got like a lot of black bloods, black Crips, Second Ward, Third Ward, Second Ward Crip Cartel, like where Lil Bing and all them is from. You won't be wearing a red shirt through there. They won't let you. But yeah, those are like small town. But you got to remember, so look at something that you brought me to a good point. People talk about Texas like it's small time. Take Houston. It's the third. They just beat Chicago. It's the third largest city in the United States. Third. Think about that. So that means it's bigger. It's the first, and you can look these up. I'm no fool. I look up statistics, and it's the first. Houston is the largest city in the United States landmass wise. It's bigger than LA, but population wise, it's the third largest city. So think about cities like it's New York, LA, H-Town. Then you got Chicago, and then all them other shits, Fresno, all them other cities, you know, everywhere. Phoenix, fucking Boston. See, to me, that's crazy because you think Texas, you think rural. Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, so like me, I wouldn't think like Houston. I'm thinking, you know, Fresno size. Not thinking it's one of the biggest cities in America. Second Ward alone is pushing like 300,000. That's the population of Second Ward. There's 9 wards in Houston. Who testified in 2004? I don't know who's who. Who's who testified? I'm gonna take this Riz smoke up. It might be the 4th, but right now there should be I'm sure if that's updated in the last 2 months, whichever you just looked at, because Houston's supposed to be the 3rd, because Chicago and Houston were neck and neck, if you will. And I just heard my homie from H-Town just told me 2 days ago, like they just beat out Chicago for the 3rd largest. But either way, 3rd or 4th, right? Think about that size. That's bigger than, like, let's say that's bigger than San Diego. I mean, that's the 3rd largest, period. It speaks for itself. There's something like 8-9 million people. That's fucking huge. So you can only imagine. It kind of goes without saying. When you have a city like Houston, right? It's like LA. incorporating cities are everywhere. Garden City, Rosedale, you just name it. What it was, Bay City. The list goes on and on. There's probably 100 incorporated cities that all touch Houston. Boom, 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 boom. It's all connected, just like Los Angeles. You got Compton, Pomona, fucking. I don't even want to sit here and name it because the list goes on and on. Southgate, Huntington Park, Bowling. You know what I mean? Oh, that's Huntington Park. But like, you know, Houston's the same, and just the same as LA. They're gonna have gangs that have been around since the 1800s, and they're fucking huge. You know what I mean? 1,000 members, gangs the size of you'll never see a set that big in Salinas because they just ain't got the numbers. You know what I mean? Like Crip Cartel, Second Ward, Houston, you're talking fucking between 3,000 to 5,000 members. You know, there's probably that many gang members. There ain't even that many gang members total in Salinas. Cruces has a lot of sureños. And it's kind of funny. I don't know. It's just the way it is. It's not necessarily, they didn't write, it's not written like that. Like it's not the politics, but it just so happens that a lot of Southern California, New Mexico cities do have a stronger sureño presence. Like Cruces, Artesia, Clovis, a lot of areas do have sureños in the South. And then you dip north, like north of Albuquerque, which would be considered northern New Mexico, like Española, Chimayo, San Juan County, all the way up into Colorado, and you have more of norte. Kind of weird, you know, but it makes sense. Northern New Mexico's got norteños, southern New Mexico has sureños. But it's not written like how Cali is, though. You know how Cali, they got a line, and it's like anything up and above, that shit. It's not like that, because you got to look at something. See, or you got to look at the, what do you call it? The geographics of Cali, right? It's a north-south state. It goes up and down. You know what I mean? It's skinny like this and goes straight up and down. So therefore, there's not much of an east and a west. You feel me? It's just mostly a fucking, you got a fucking long ass north and a long ass south. Period. See, New Mexico's square. You look at that fucking thing, it's damn near perfectly square. So the east and the west side of New Mexico is just as big as the north and the south. You got East Side locals is huge there, and they're all from Grants and ESL and everywhere. East Side is like East Sider in its own is like South Side in California. You know how in California you got sureños, you got like the sur, right? Well, you got the este in New Mexico, like where East Side alone is its own army. ESL 12, East Side's Oble, Estes, Cheesers, Cheese Siders, you know. Hey, funny, Arturo Holguin. I was gonna react to that. You know, it's funny. It's a trip that in this big ass world, that no matter where people are, we may be watching the same fucking show at the same time. I was just watching that last night. It says something like nobody's ever seen New Mexico hoods. That's like the title of it, huh? And just so you guys know, I watch all that Charlie Boy shit. I don't know if you guys saw a while back. I did a reaction to Houston's worst hoods. I'm also gonna do a reaction to Phoenix versus Albuquerque hoods. Different. I watched. Shout out to Charlie Boy if you got 303. If you guys haven't seen him, or 313, I'm sorry. He drives through hoods. He goes through all of the United States. He's a brother man. You know, he goes through Phoenix. I mean, he goes through everywhere. I believe he's been through everywhere. Memphis. If you ever want to know what it's like to be on ground zero, as in driving right through the hood, you know, sitting side by side with him, to be right out there smelling the air, you know, at midnight. You check out his videos. He's got some badass content. I was actually going to do a show on some, see, that's the thing. I like to do shows about the whole Southwest because there's like a lot more content, you know, and to me, the Southwest is like one, you know, from Colorado to Salt Lake City down to Phoenix. I don't really include California when I'm talking about it because they're the West. They're their own entity. They're the West Coast. But Phoenix, I would say all the way. And then even, I'm not going to lie, like Texas sort of starts to break off, I would say, from the Southwest. Like right around, like I said, Houston, El Paso. Like El Paso is still considered, in my opinion, Southwest. Matter of fact, they call that our twin city. Albuquerque, that's our twin city. El Paso. It's probably the closest big city to us, period. Like it's closest. It's closer than Denver. It's closer than Phoenix. And then next, first I'd say is El Paso, distance wise, from Albuquerque. And then next would be like either Houston, Dallas to the right, or it'd be a tie, like sort of a tie between Phoenix or Denver. They're almost like about 300 miles, almost exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? Distance wise. But it's tight to be right there. People don't understand how convenient it is. I mean, not to I don't want to push anyone into getting in caught up or nothing, but like especially if you were a dealer slanging like me and the homies used to. I mean, you got Mexico right there, so you go 200 miles south, you pick up your load in Mexico. Fucking, you come back up. Now you're in a position to be able to drive to either Phoenix, Salt Lake, or Denver, all in the same distance. Or if you're smart like us, you make a loop. You call it the loop, which is you go through all of them. Shoot straight up to fucking Denver, loop down through Salt Lake, shoot straight down, drop down through Phoenix, and come right through the desert. You know what I mean? Try to travel as much as you can through. See, I got it down. I can tell people what it's all about. And you drive through reservation. You want to stay on the res because state, federal, they have less authority. The only people that have authority on the reservation is the tribal police. So when you get your loads, make sure you don't break down because those fools will scalp you. But you want to hit, you know what I mean, take your load to certain areas, jurisdictions, and I know what's up. Why you think I own land halfway right in the middle of all that shit? About 150 miles north of Albuquerque when you're on your way to Denver, I own land. Perfect spot to hide somebody out, to grow fucking 100 pounds, to fucking keep all your guns in your weight, anything. We ain't no fools. Shit, we came from fucking Sawlosh and with money, and we were like, all right, we need that spot right there. We need that location. You know what I'm saying? But I always say and I was a baby. I want to make this clear in this life. I was born, Cali, but born, what do you call it? Cali, born, Nuevo, raised, straight up. So I hope people understand and accept when I say, hey, I caught my game, drove my first car, hooked up my first hookah, all that shit in Nuevo. You know what I mean? So that's why I claim Nuevo. I never been in no set, done no politicking or none of that in Cali. You know what I mean? And even New Mexico, you know, this is a trippy part. At a young age, late teens, I left. Not for good, but left, you know, worked in Texas, lived in Texas, went back, would always go to trip to, I was a Rolling Stone to this day, you know. Then I started moving farther, checking out the islands, checking out Mexico. Oh, yeah. Yep. And there's bullets, too. Because my prima, shout out to my prima, she, we don't really talk anymore, but her husband is kind of like, you know how everybody in the family has that square, the Mexicano brother or nephew or cousin that's a square. I mean, straight square. Like he works for the police and he's got the fucking jar top cut and he wants to be a damn guard at the prison and just a full on, you know what I mean? And has a little American flag hanging out of the back of his car. Oh, he's one of those, but he's from El Paso, but full Mexican, full Mexicano. Speaks broken English kind, but like, you know, pictures of him in his Navy military uniform and all that. He's from El Paso, and he was telling us stories. You can see like you can bullets from because they get more busy in Juarez, on the Juarez side of the border, less law, so they get more have more wars, gunshots ringing out, you know, shootouts. They have more of it going down over there, and some of the straight bullets go across the border. They're always like landing like rain. They're always hitting around the city of El Paso. But yeah, and I've lived all over Bulque, all over Nuevo too. To be honest, I lived in the Four Corners, on land, like I said, lived in Cuba. Shout out to Sandoval County, San Juan County, all of them. But yeah, he also, I think he did the Arturo Hoguin. I think he did that that video because it was right there by he was in Mexico too, because I seen recently he did a bunch of videos of Juarez in the rain. Matter of fact, I was just watching it earlier today. So. Well, yeah, just kicking back. Hope everybody had a good one. You know, gearing down on a Sunday afternoon. Always do my check-ins. You know, if you guys missed this one or the one before it or the one after, whatever you name it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not even worth going down there. I used to go to Sonora, and the main thing over there was like, if you have to meet somebody or do a pickup, they would tell you, they would meet you on this side of the tracks because they want to keep you safe, right? So the deal was this: there would be train tracks that run. Anybody who has ever been to the state of Sonora, which is that's El Chapo's dudes, you know what I mean? They run that the Sonora cartel. They run all that area and shit. But anyway, they'll tell you, okay, so this is crazy. You guys ain't gonna believe me, but it's true. They have these train tracks, right? And they would burn bodies and shit right along the tracks. And they were it was a sign to the police. Well, this is what we were told. It's a sign to the police and to other cartels and shit, like no entre. You know what I mean? That you can't go. Like, this is a no-go, right? Obviously, you're gonna see burnt. It looks like bushes and stuff, but really they take cartel members and burn them along the tracks. And then they'll tell you, don't cross the tracks. Don't go on those side of the train tracks. As you can see, there's no place to be. Crazy shit. But people don't understand how accessible it is in New Mexico, just due to the type of border there is. You got to remember, with the population of California, it's been an entry point for a long time. Not only for coyotes trying to human traffic, but for Tijuana, and for just due to, I'm going to be honest, due to the population of LA, San Diego, and it being within literally miles. See, it's a few hundred miles from Albuquerque to the border, which is the biggest city in New Mexico. But Southern California, it's a different story. See, they're right. You can throw rocks from San Diego to the border. So the flow, the influx. There you go, my man. Well, enjoy your time. Everybody knows the blessings from the ganja make the procreation, make the food, make everything better. It's a blessing. So enjoy yourself, my man. Enjoy your Sunday. But yeah, so the general population, density of Southern California, that's the reason why their borders are so patrolled. I mean, you couldn't get a damn, what do they say? Getting one rock across that border is like trying to get a damn a pin up a rabbit's ass with a jackhammer. It just ain't happening. They like I said, just due to the plain, just so much traffic. Now I'm gonna keep it real, and this is no lie. There's places in New Mexico where you can cross that are dirt roads. All you gotta do is get off and fucking and open the gate. It's a damn barbed wire fence. It's all knocked down wood, all knocked over. But I got an hour in. Outweigh. Yahweh's always. Yahweh. Just wanted to check in with everybody. Like I said, tell her. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. That's the main thing I wanted to tell you. Cover whatever kind of points. Cover this. Cover a little of this. Cover a little of that. Like I said, I usually cover an array of subjects when I do a little live. This one is no different. I'm actually gonna be doing that videos a little different. You guys make sure you check it out. I'm gonna be getting a new editing type apps. There's all different apps. I use like 3 different ones, but I'm getting another one right now where how guys I'm gonna be doing a different format of videos. You see, guys, I'm sure have seen all the videos where you got a guy sitting there and he's talking, and then boom, a different screen comes up, like a clip of a movie, and then a still frame, and then I come back on talking again. And that's kind of how I'm going to do my videos from now on. I'm going to start reformatting them a little differently, a little more like, now this is a live, but my actual videos, my reactions will be the same. A reaction is a reaction. But like my opinion pieces, like, yeah, you guys look out. My first video I'm going to be doing 5 hats not to wear in Albuquerque. Then I'm going to get you caught up. You know what I mean? The 5, no-go zone. Do not wear these 5 hats in Burque, New Mexico. That's going to be my first video I got coming out. The way I'm going to be, like I said, formatting it, I'm going to be talking a little, and then as I talk about the hat, I'm going to be showing some clips of the set that wears them, be showing pictures of the hat. So you guys make sure you check out that. And it's not going to be that one video. That's just a whole new thing I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of new videos like that. I'm going to be a little more eye candy as I narrate along, Guys, make sure and check it out. But from there, cruising on a Sunday afternoon. Hope you guys have a good one. Start a good work week. Like I always say, start your Monday as a Monday, end it as a Friday. Thanks for checking in. I ain't going nowhere. Like I said, I do daily lives and daily content. So you guys are more than welcome to always check in. If not, I got a bunch of old stuff you can check out too. More, much love.